I am Kevin Mitnick, the world's most famous hacker. AMA! AMA! In the mid-90s, I was the world's most wanted hacker for hacking into 40 major corporations just for the challenge. I'm now an author and security consultant to Fortune 500 and governments worldwide, performing penetration testing services for the world's largest companies. I am also the Chief Hacking Officer to KnowBe4, a company that develops software to train employees to make smarter security decisions. Ask me anything. Can you hack my wife's text so I can find out if she's cheating on me with Brett? Brett already paid me to keep quiet. Kevin, just completed some of your training from KnowBe4 for work. I have my completion certificate hanging on my wall, but could we maybe get it in a font that's not Comic Sans? I'll tell you what. Get your certificate over to KnowBe4 with a copy of this thread, and I'll make sure that I sign it personally. What was the most sensitive, surprising information you found out? That federal judge in North California had an intercept on his line. I would check to see if any of my friends had a tap on their lines and stumbled upon the fact that a judge had one on his line. I just want to thank you for your business card. Sadly, I locked myself out of my house one day and had to take it apart in order to use the picks to break in. In short, you helped me break into a house and got me laid. Where can I get more of your cards? Wow, I better raise the price of my cards. Can you use Visual Basic to create a GUI interface to track the killer's IP? No need. It's already been done. Fun fact, when I had my role on the show Alias, I was still on probation, not allowed to use a computer. For my scene with a computer, I had a prop computer with a monitor that was being operated remotely to follow my actions. What would you say to teens that are into hacking? Are the consequences now worse than when you were freaking? What project should they channel their energy to? Don't follow in my footsteps. Become good at offense using virtual machines and the various tool sets that are available. Learn about development and network administration to get your fundamentals before going directly into security. The consequences are certainly more severe and likely will only get worse. This is because of the rise in publicity of hacking with public events such as the Russian hacking during the recent election and news around Edward Snowden. What you're seeing in the making is a war on hacking to replace the war on drugs. Hey Kevin, thanks for the AMA. What motivated you to go into hacking and what tools did you start with? What motivated me to get into hacking was because I was involved in phone phreaking and used to pull pranks on my friends. I wanted more control of the systems involved, and one thing led to another. My first tool was a telephone. After that was a VT100 terminal and a Hayes 300-volt modem. Remember, I started in 1978. What was the most memorable or impressive item of the Free Kevin campaign that you recall seeing? While I was in a federal detention center in LA, I could look out the very small window and was able to see an airplane with a Free Kevin banner flying around. Hi Kevin, big fan. If you had never been exposed to computers when you were younger, what direction do you think your life would have taken? What would be your job today? I would probably be competing against David Copperfield as a magician because I love magic. Kevin, for people thinking of getting into the security industry, what particular skills do you see being the most valuable now and the most valuable in 10 years? In other words, of which types of current emerging tracks or concepts will tomorrow's InfoSec managers be skilled practitioners? Right now, it depends on what area of security. For me, I'm always looking to hire expert pen testers. I look for people with skills set in physical, technical, wireless areas. What's hard to find today are those that have the skills to find bugs in web apps. 10 years? I need my crystal ball because I have no idea. I would say that one needs to constantly and vigilantly keep up to date with what is going on both sides of the fence. It's a matter of keeping aware of the landscape as it evolves. 10 years in this industry is 100 years in any other industry. What did we have to watch for 10 years ago? What are your thoughts on Fortran program language? Is it good? Is it dead? My university is insisting that I have to learn how to program in Fortran, so here I am asking this. Funny thing you would ask, the very first program I wrote was in Fortran. It simulated the login process of my teacher's computer, and I used that to fizz his login credentials. I never did Hello World. I got my teacher's password as my first project. C and Python make more sense, but if the university says you need it, well, you probably should learn it, but certainly don't stop there. Hey Kevin, big fan. What do you think your biggest accomplishment is both legal and illegal? Also, did you have any thoughts of harming anyone, including yourself, when the FBI was coming? My biggest accomplishment was turning my life around. Lemons to lemonade. I'm able to take all my skills and use them to improve security. I'm extremely fortunate that I've been able to take this mischievous behavior and use this to help businesses to protect themselves from the other Kevin Mitnicks that are out there. Look at it this way. It's like Pablo Escobar becoming a successful pharmacist. Edit to answer your last question. I never thought about harming myself. I did think about trying to escape, but I didn't want to end up getting shot. That would go directly against my general desire not to harm myself or others. What's the most important or foremost thought process when attacking or protecting a digital entity? Really thinking out of the box, expecting the unexpected. Really, to me, the thought process is like puzzle solving. It's much harder to protect than it is to attack. The attacker needs only to find one hole to make it in. Hi Kevin, do you think the rise of cryptocurrency, bitcoins, etc. will have a net positive effect? I think it's a positive effect. It gives the public another way to pay for products and services somewhat anonymously. It's just another tool that can be used by society in a positive manner. This is the best use case of crypto markets, and I love seeing sites, stores that offer these payment methods. It lets me know they're on the level with the changing winds of technology payment avenues. Back in the day when you were wanted, the tech was different. You didn't have tools like Metasploit, Armitage, etc. Was it easier or harder to break into stuff? And also, how long did it take you to adapt to the new ways of hacking after getting out and serving probation? Or did you need time to adapt? And also, in this day and age, it's unimaginable to be AFK for even a day, let alone for the time you were. So how was it? Big fan. Keep whistling those launch codes. I would say it's the same. Systems were less secure, but to compromise them, you had to write your own exploits. An effective method was social engineering the operators of the systems, a tactic that is still very successful today. That part works the same today as it did yesterday. While I was in custody, I continued to read and follow what was happening in the wild. Couldn't use a computer for 3 years, so there was some catch up to do, but I wasn't completely in the dark about what had been going on. People sent me books on HTML and whatnot, while I had no access to computers. How often do people try to hack you? Constantly, all the time. Since there was so many ways to compromise a target, I completely reload all of my systems at least once every 6 months from a trusted source. If I was on Windows, I would do it every week. Hey there, Kevin. What is one area of security hacking that you would like to improve at? What is your favorite story in hacking history that you were not a part of? In the security and IT field, there are so many things that are changing on a daily basis, so you can't be good at everything. Right now, there is a big need for people with the ability to find exploits in web apps. An interesting bit of data is that when my company does engagements, I still involve myself because I really enjoy the hacking process. I have many favorite stories, but I really enjoyed Kevin Paulson's attack on Pacific Bell. I was very impressed by his bravado and how he would physically go into facilities. I would have liked to have met him early on in my hacking career when I was hacking the phone companies, as that was my true love back in the 90s. Hi Kevin, do you think overall computer security is getting better as we devise ways to make things more secure? Or is the growing number of tech illiterate people or even techie people who just can't be bothered to keep to good security practices, offsetting the gains we are making. It's really hard to find skilled security people. We really need to help develop people's skills in security testing. Testing security is an important step that needs to be taken. Recommendation on a laptop? And what do you use and why? I could tell you, but I would have to kill you. Are you trying to do reconnaissance on me? I will say I like OS X and I like the aesthetics of the Apple hardware. I'll use VM for my Windows systems. I do use Linux, and I typically go with Debian or Ubuntu. What is your favorite tool? What tool blew your mind the first time you saw it? Burp Proxy Pro is really a great tool. Xkeyscore is what blew my mind the most. Back in the 90s, it was direct access to the DMV in CA. While Burp is my go-to tool for web app scans, the false positives make me want to top myself. What are your thoughts on Ed Snowden? My position is that Ed is a whistleblower, not a traitor. I was happy when he revealed that the US government was breaking the law by spying on our citizens. That was an illegal activity and needed to be revealed. It's my position that Ed shouldn't have revealed our operations related to the monitoring of foreign entities. That's what the NSA is expected to as part of their mission, just like foreign entities do with us. That's the spy game. How accurate was the book movie Takedown? I would say the book was 90% false and defamatory. The movie was 99%. The good news is that Jeff Astin, creator of White Collar, is doing the script for Ghost in the Wires. I hope that the script is picked up and it turns into something picked up by the production company.